Happy Wednesday, Freight family. Brianna Cobb here with another live stream. Happy Halloween Eve. I hope you guys are having a great day. And I'm so excited to introduce you to Harry. He is Harry Motuni, the head of financing over at Phoenix Trans. And it's very, very interesting how we met because last month I actually met with the driver who was continuously getting denied for financing. Those rejection letters started piling up, and Harry flew in to save the day. He's been working specifically with flatbed and step deck trailers and financing for the past 12 years. Again, Harry, thank you so much for joining us. Give us a quick background on who you are, where you're from, how you got started in trucking, and what you would suggest a new business or owner operator do if they find themselves in the same situation as Wayne with those rejection letters.
Awesome. Yeah, let's get to it. So, hey, what's up, guys? This is Harinder Singh. You can call me Harry just to make it a lot easier on you. So, let's take a deep dive. So, I got my CDL a very long time ago. I drove about for 5, 6 years. I called it quits. I got married. And from that point, I started a sales job at Cal Trailers and Leasing where I became a sales manager. Within 6 months, I had over $10 million in sales. And I really saw myself in that position, but I wanted to do some changes, how I could help people to get into this business, how to get a little bit deeper in, how to make more stuff happen. So from that point on, I decided, you know what, I want to try out finance. From that point on, I got myself a couple contracts, got myself going, and here I am today financing for the people, for truckers to make their days, their businesses, and their life easier. That's what my job is. So, how we can go ahead and do do things in a good way to for their businesses, right? Let's say get yourself an LLC, get that set up, get yourself a bank account, have your paychecks in and out of there, have your expenses in and out of there. When you're financing, the lenders, what they want to see is what your ending balance is, what your starting balance is, and not that it's always 6 weeks at a time, $355, because that will not get you approved. So it's very important. Okay, get yourself an LLC, get yourself those docs, get that transactions in and out so that you look like a legitimate business. It is not impossible just to get someone approved just without any of those, but it's the best way, the easiest way, and the right way to do it. Okay. So let's go. Am I saying something funny?
No, no, you hit it right on the nail. I love that. So it's a mix of, how long they've been in business, what their income is, or their expenses, and you're just looking for overall financial stability, right? Before
Correct.
these lenders can finance this equipment.
Correct.
How often do they consider personal credit, if at all? What are certain instances? Have you seen a favor of like interest rates in businesses that are like minority or veteran owned, or businesses that are in different states than others? What's been the normal range of, a predatory rate, and what does that consist of versus something that's lower that's beneficial to the carrier, and how is that determined?
Got it. So recently, what type of interest rates that I'm really seeing in the market now, regarding if you're flatbed, regarding if you're just a normal refrigerator driver or you're just a drive-in driver, interest rates are at this point where we're in an inflated market, right? Now, the good thing about step decks and flatbeds is it's more of a vocational type of equipment category. So now those starting right there, they're starting at around 9% interest rate, zero down approvals, and I could get those going. Of course, you are going to need about 2 years in business to get an approval like that. You got to have those docs showing I'm in business. This is my truck. This is what I'm paying on a monthly expense level. You can't just be like, hey, I want this truck and have nothing to show the bank, because at the end of the day, the bank, the lender, you are a risk, and they got to do some type of risk assessment to see how well their collateral is going to be secured. So a lot of those types of things, it just really depends. Yes, your personal credit score does get considered, your overall credit history. It could be even that you're just financing something under your company, yes, it is going to go under your commercial credit, but at the end of the day, the lender is going to consider what your personal rating is looking like. A lot of types of things that they look for when you are going as a first-time owner operator, you're financing for your first time, they want to see your paychecks. So 3 months of bank statements. It's really good to always have 2 years of taxes. Can I get you approved without 2 years of taxes? I have a lender that can get you approved with no taxes. But what are you doing with that lender? Now, that specific lender that I'm talking about, I do, heads up, I do not disclose my lenders. We're over a podcast, so I worked for this. So with this specific lender, you can get approved with a 510 credit scores, and all you just need is 6 months of experience, and I can get you going. Yes, stuff like that is doable, but like with lenders, high risk lenders, you have to pay a price, meaning you are going to be paying 30 to 40% down. So I would definitely say if you're just starting out, just look for a $30,000-$40,000 truck like a Freightliner Cascadia or a new International. Go towards that type of stuff so you can afford that 30-40% down payment. There are other programs available too. Let's say if you have a 680 credit score, you can get approved anywhere between that 9 to 12 mark with 10 to 20% down payment. It just depends on how you're looking on papers, how many trucks you have. Are you a first-time borrower? There's many variables, I cannot hear you.
Sorry, what about those business owners that come to you that have like previous businesses that failed or like partnerships that just didn't work out? Other than like those high interest rates or those high down payments, is there anything else that they should look for or any advice that you can give to someone who's trying to restart, someone who wants to start over?
What I would say is if you're trying to restart, find yourself a broker like me that can consume time. I
Yes.
can help you going into details. It doesn't have to be me. It could be just a broker. Okay, a finance broker that just specifically works in these types of commercial lending that has the time that you need. Because a lot of times it's just small things, small little fixes that just need to happen in order to get an approval. It's pretty simple as that. It could be just about, go filing your taxes. That was the only thing needed. I had made over the past few years, I've had applications where we just needed a 2023 or a 2022 tax in order to get an approval. So that's what I'm saying. It could be the smallest things that you just need to get an approval. That's what I'm saying. Just work with a broker, be upfront. If you're getting denials, don't say, hey, I'm here getting 7% interest rates. I get calls like that, and it does not exist. In
Wow.
this market, right, it does not exist. So, the mains, just be honest, tell them what you're suffering, what you need, and what you exactly have as a down payment and what you're looking for, how fast you're trying to close it. Do
Yeah.
not keep no hiding, don't know secrets, just be upfront with the person that you're working with. It's the best way to get a deal closed. That's what I would say.
Don't inflate the numbers, be transparent, be
Correct.
open, right, to adjusting your timeline. I love that. I love that. Tell us a little bit more about a driver or an owner operator or someone that came to you and thought that they were completely out of options, right? Like, what about the big elephant in the room, credit scores? How are you able to help them in ways that traditional banks would not normally?
Please, could you repeat that?
Yes, yeah. So tell us about a time when, either Wayne or another client of yours came to you and they thought that they were out of options, but you were their one-stop shop. Like we talked about the rejection letters before. Give us a little bit more of an in-depth example, not sharing privacy of how you were able to help these owner operators, these small trucking companies stay afloat when they thought that they were about to go under.
Got it. When it comes towards lending, I would just say, just like I said, keep it honest, keep it 100, and let that broker just guide you to the final stretch. A lot of times, you are just needing a person that has that type of expertise. A dealership is not going to have 50 lenders on the standback. They maybe have a lot of dealerships. They standardly are equipped with BMO. Their whole flooring is all done by BMO. So with those type of dealerships, they maybe have three, four, five lenders, but that's it. That's where I come into play. That's where a broker comes into play that has that 20, 30, 40, 50 lenders that can guide you the right way with what you're going through financially, or what's happening with you on paper, you know?
I love that. Yeah, that's awesome. What's the typical funding range that you see people normally get approved for like a flatbed or a step deck setup? I know you talked about like equipment years earlier. Is there a preference as far as like age of the oldest used equipment you guys will finance if you do?
I would just really say lender to lender, just stick between that 2015 to 2017 mark at the lowest end. Just, try to get new equipment. Uh, it's better, it's more reliable, lesser breakdowns, the lesser stress you're going to have trying to find a bay to get something fixed. So that's what I would definitely say.
And I know Calais met with Phoenix Trans last week. They are killing it with their military freight. Tell us a little bit about that. Having the work beforehand, having proof of concept, does that allow you a higher approval rate? Do lenders look for kind of contracted work beforehand?
Honestly, it looks better on paper. Like I was saying earlier, like it's a simple thing. When you fill a credit application out, I tell 100% to my customers, hey, if it's going to take you an additional minute or two to fill out your haul source, a lender might just look at you like, oh, okay, he doesn't have a lot of good credit, but let's do manual underwriting. Let's look at these brokers, what he's getting, full credentials, full finances. You know what? Maybe we'll get this guy going. I had this happen last year with me. This customer had a bigger customer. He had a really big customer. His fleet was about 100 trucks. He wanted to serve that customer that he was just doing chicken loads. He was in the refrigerated market. So the deal was about $3 million, all finance trailers. Okay, we're just doing reefer trailers. There were 30 of them, and eventually we closed 100. But now the thing is, with that trailer deal, he did not have a lot of commercial debt on his credit. So we did a lot of manual underwriting. When we did that manual underwriting, we looked at it like, oh, okay, well, this guy was leasing more than financing. That's the reason why there's not a whole lot of comp debt. Now we did manual underwriting. We still got him a pretty solid deal. We got him out the doors with his trailers. So it just really depends. That's what I would say.
I love that. That's awesome. Thank you for being so open and transparent. And of course, everyone is a case by case issue based on their credit history, based on the length of their business, based on their income, their expenses, and what they're looking to budget.
Right.
But just a quick overall, again, what you've seen within the past year, can you share some average numbers on what people are depositing and spending on funding and credit rates and what they can expect to get approved for, when, and if they're able to grow, how fast and how far?
Got it. Okay. So what I would say, if you're trying to grow in this industry, how to do it properly, just get yourself a truck, get yourself going on that, have all paperwork all good to go. Every 3 to 6 months, talk to your broker, be like, hey, I have additional income coming in, $1,000 a week. It is a monthly $4,000 extra in my pocket. I want to expand. This is additional income. Get me approved. That's how I would say, just keep rinse and repeating that. I do that with all my customers. They do about 3 to 6 months of waiting, and we get them every quarter a new or two trucks. That all that extra
Wow.
income, that's potential for you to grow. Just don't go out there and spend it all. Keep it in
Yeah.
the bank account. So when I ask you for those 3 months of bank statements, that it looks like you have money in the pocket, you have reserves for the lender to see like, hey, this person is responsible.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that timeline. The ability to grow within like 6 months is crazy. And a lot of people are looking to scale that fast. So having you as a resource, Harry, is definitely a plus. We
Right.
got a couple of comments. We got a ton of people joining us. Hey, Alvarez, they're a company driver. I know a lot of people are thinking of getting out of that company driver seat and getting into that owner operator seat. What one piece of advice, of course, other than the entire live stream, would you give them, or what would you like to tell them so that way they're able to kind of stress less about financing, knowing that they have a broker like you in their back pocket?
The only thing that I would say is just, be honest, be respectful, do your exact things. Just financing could be very easy, very smooth if you're just very honest. I had a lot of deals where in the back end I found out that, hey, there were a bunch of lies, and that person unfortunately a lot of those guys did get declined because there were a lot of
Oh,
unknowns, upfront lies. So
oh my
just
God.
just
What can you
always
give what give like a couple examples? Were they like just lying about like their EIN was fake and they were making like fake tax statements and
okay. This was let's start this like this. On TikTok, I post a lot of trucks and trailers. I sell out of my TikTok page. Okay, I do
okay.
a lot of wholesaling as well
Okay.
for fleets for customers that are looking for equipment. Okay, now this specific couple walked into my office. They wanted to book two trucks. They lied about the money that they had in the bank account. They lied about what their credit score was. Then
Gosh.
they still proceeded to book those trucks, meaning leaving deposit for those trucks. And at the end of the road, there was like, hey, they had, I believe, 9 60-day late payments. They had a few collections, and their stated credit score was a 640, but they had a 504. So stuff like that, never lie. What it's on paper, disclose. Disclose, disclose, disclose. That's the best thing that I can say, to have a good, easy, smooth process and approval and getting funded when it comes to trucks and trailers.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. For everyone that's watching, if you are a company driver or if you're working full time now and you're thinking of starting a trucking company, you want to become an owner operator, or you're looking to scale, Harry is your man with the plan. If you guys need to reach out to him or if you're interested in learning more, do me a favor, type me in the chat and we will reach out to you guys directly. Now, if you guys are also ready to put on your military grade equipment, if you want to add that to your arsenal, if you're ready to get into that industry, if you want to add that to your tool belt, do me a favor, type me in the chat. And again, we will reach out to you for everyone who is looking to grow or build their fleet in the flatbed or step deck niche. Now, again, Harry, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we hop off for today?
I just wanted to say I really appreciate you guys having me over, and I'm looking forward helping you guys, drivers, company drivers, owner operators, fleet owners, whatever it is. I'm really looking forward to working with you guys and helping one at a time.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. It was a blessing to have you, Harry. I will be in touch with you shortly. Thank you so much for coming on.
Alrighty, take care. Thanks.
Thanks. Talk to you soon.